All right, so today we're doing a deep dive into a really fascinating ancient text, First Samuel chapter 15,
Hmm.
and we're looking at it as a kind of blueprint for, well, for spectacular leadership failure. It really all pivots on this difference between, ritual and genuine submission.
It's such a crucial story for you to dig into because here you have a leader, King Saul, who has just won a major military victory,
A huge
a
success.
huge success. And yet, right after,
Mhm.
the divine verdict is regret. Regret for ever making him king. So, our mission today is really to unpack that and understand this verdict that obedience is better than sacrifice.
Okay, so let's set the stage. The command from God was
Utter,
really absolute.
utterly absolute. Destroy the Amalekites, everything they own, all their livestock. It was this thing called the cherem, a sacred band.
Total destruction. Nothing was supposed to be taken as spoils.
Right. It was a test of absolute, unqualified obedience. And this is where we see the failure even before Samuel the prophet shows
It
up.
was the first thing he does.
The first thing Saul does is not give thanks or report back. He travels to a place called Carmel and sets up a monument
A monument.
to himself. He builds a memorial to his own victory before the mission is even properly finished. It's all about self-glory from the very beginning.
Wow. So when Samuel finally finds him, Saul has this almost performative confidence.
Oh, totally. He just says, I have performed the commandment of the Lord, like box checked, mission accomplished.
But there was an obvious problem.
An audible one. Samuel's response is just perfect. He says, if you obeyed, then what is this bleating of the sheep
Yeah.
and the lowing of the oxen that I hear?
The proof of his failure was literally making noise all around them.
Exactly. The silence of obedience was broken by the sound of greed.
So that brings us to Saul's defense, his rationalization. And there are really two big sins here. First, the blame game.
The immediate classic move of a failed leader. He doesn't take responsibility. He says, the people did it. The multitude brought back the best animals.
He throws his army right under the chariot.
Instantly. And that leads right into the second sin, which is, I think, much more insidious.
Hiding greed in piety.
Yes. He says they saved the livestock specifically for a sacrifice to God, a big religious performance. He's trying to use a good thing, a ritual, to cover up for a bad thing, his disobedience.
And he even distances himself, doesn't he? He says they saved them for your God, Samuel's God.
That's such a key phrase. It's not his God he's truly serving in that moment. It's just an authority figure he's trying to appease.
So in response to this whole flimsy defense, Samuel just drops the hammer. This is the defining statement of the whole story.
It really is. He cuts right through the rationalization and says, the Lord doesn't desire all that ritual as much as he simply desires someone to listen.
To obey the voice of the Lord.
Right. And he gives us that iconic line, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. It's about relationship, not a transaction.
But it goes even deeper. The real critical thinking nugget is in the next verse, where stubbornness gets compared to a very serious sin.
The sin of idolatry. Samuel says that arrogance, that stubborn self-will, is the same as worshiping an idol.
So elevating your own will above God's will it's making an idol out of yourself.
That's it, exactly. Saul rejected the word of the Lord because he preferred his own plan, and because he rejected the word, the Lord rejected him as king. That partial obedience cost him everything.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Saul's failure is this timeless trap, isn't it? It's about substituting a big, visible performance for the hard, quiet work of actual submission.
And that's the final thought we want to leave you with. If rebellion and stubbornness are really a form of idolatry, then what are the monuments of self? What self-serving excuses or acts of partial obedience do you need to tear down in your own life to truly submit to a higher authority?